Thoughts and views of this podcast and the sole views of the curators of this podcast is not the views of United States Postal Service.
How does he do it?
And we are back on the Route Podcast, episode 11.
Who you with?
You know what I mean? We'll figure out what we're going to call this one later, like we always do. But before we even get started, let my brothers introduce themselves. On my left,
B. Morton, baby, we back at it, you know what I mean? Doing something good for y'all, give y'all information. Let's keep going, brothers.
Yo, this is Aaron. Welcome back to On the Route.
This is Black, clocking in, give you some good information. Let's get it going.
and I'm your low-key engineer, trying to be low-key, doing a horrible job at it. Rick Shine, as usual. Right back at you. I think today we're going to be talking about...
Today we're going to be talking about this past week, we had to deal with a lot of smoke in the air. A lot of, I guess the forest fire. Everybody want to talk about the experience with the smoke?
The fire that came from Canada?
Yeah.
How many fires was it?
I believe it was like 162 different fires.
Yeah, something
Going from Alberta to Ontario to Quebec, which are the different provinces.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it came down from Canada to New York, down to all the East Coast. They said it hit 20 states, I believe.
Yeah, I think all the New England states for sure, like because they're right there, and it touched a little bit of Ohio and I think like the edges of Illinois. So what the map said.
The wind just carried it everywhere.
It's true,
Yeah,
right? Michigan
pretty
too, right? Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, that's like 3 provinces like in Canada, so like that's a large area.
So what day did it start?
I believe originally it was around March. They said originally, like you know what I mean, but it got out of control. I think near the beginning of May.
Damn, March. Damn.
Yeah, because one guy on CNN said they always have four wildfires like that in Canada, but just never to this magnitude.
Right.
Like this was like something like beyond like their comprehension. I think it's because of like the lack of rain that they were getting up there and how hot the temperatures are, and people were saying climate change. You know what I mean? Of course, people dive into that bag of pollution and et cetera, but I think we need to relax as humans and understand that the planet is very much older than we are and way bigger than us. I don't think we affect it the way we think we do.
I don't
honestly.
think so either.
Right.
I'm sorry not to be funny, but where's Captain Planet when you need him? I'm sorry. I couldn't hold that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely the hero with a mullet right now. But go ahead, Aaron. I mean,
Yeah, man. First of all, I didn't know what was going on. I don't watch the news that much. But when I stepped outside, I was like, man, what does that smell? And I'm like, damn, is that fog? Like fog during the day? And then, I heard at the station, it's just like, yeah, it's a forest fire and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But for me, I just thought we shouldn't be out there because of the smoke index. They said that we was around like the red area.
350.
350?
Mm-hmm.
And I got asthma, so it's like I was coughing a little bit, but I also had a mask on too. But I thought like we was put in a precarious situation to be working in that. I felt like we could have took that day off. What y'all think?
I agree.
Yeah, so I didn't experience it until when I got home, basically. So where I live at more so, I live with a lot of trees. So I got home and I opened our deck door. I'm like, you don't smell that? I'm asking my wife. She like, what? I'm like, you don't smell like something's on fire? She like, no. I'm like, it smells like something's on fire. So we go the next day to work. You can feel it. Like you can feel like it's hard to breathe in. Like you said, intake. And it was like they said it was got to a point where it's burning people's eyes too. Like I think it was like that. Like they had like a real bad sticking system. But I feel like I said, the procedure were not to take it what you were gonna say, Rick. Like if they cancel other things, why don't we matter? I mean, is the mail that much more important than any of our lives sitting right here or anybody that delivered the mail? Like, what's the scenario? What's the agenda? What do we do? You know what I mean? Where do it stops at? Where does the line stops for, all right, the mail's not bigger than this, the mail's not bigger than this? Like, it seems like nothing outtrays the mill at all. Like, it just seemed like the mill is just the end all be all. You a soldier, you going out there and do it, but it's health system. Like, my thing is, we didn't even have a stand up talk until we said something. I think somebody at our station said something like they complained about it.
Yeah, someone was complaining on Wednesday about it.
Yeah, but the stand up talk wasn't until what?
Until Thursday.
Thursday.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. But then but the thing is, it wasn't even from the I'm not gonna say it, but it wasn't from the person he become from. Basically, it came from somebody else. So just like, well, who really cares about the job?
Yeah, the stand-up talk was like on the 8th of June, but the situation kind of got to Philly, I feel like, Tuesday night.
Yeah, that's why.
Because I remember my wife was saying something to me like right before I went to sleep Tuesday night. She was like, is somebody cooking something burning? I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, because the window was closed, because I had the AC on. Right. And then I opened the window to the bedroom, and I'm like, yeah, I do smell smoke. Like, what is that? But then I remembered someone was saying that, yo, like, because I watched the news, like, they said that, it's carrying down this way because of the current and the wind. So you're going to be smelling the smoke from the forest fire in Canada. So I explained to her what that was. Now, I didn't understand the severity of it until next morning when we had to go to work, and I went outside. And, you look up in the sky and you're like, I don't see any clouds. You don't realize that it's the haze of the smoke till you hear a plane overhead and you look up to see the plane. You can't see where the plane is. Right. You know what I mean? And then you could literally smell it as you're, moving around working or whatever. But I put a mask on anyway. Like, I don't wait for them to tell us when we should be, take precaution. I use my own common sense to just because nobody cares about you more than you. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? You can't expect other people to care about your safety or care about your well-being. You know what I mean? Like, we preach that in every aspect of life in this country, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for yourself. You know what I mean? So I put a mask on, one of the ones I had myself. It wasn't like the really great one, but it was a regular one. You know what I mean? I moved around with that, but it got worse as the day went on. Right. That's the one thing I noticed. Like,
seemed like earlier in Wednesday, it started out, it wasn't that bad because I still saw some clouds. But I also saw helicopters. It seemed like they were trying to disperse the smoke a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, in certain areas in New York, they was calling it the red zone. It was kind of like what they were saying
because it was orange out there.
Yeah, it was orange. It was looking like what's the
well, in New York it was purple.
Yeah, it was saving the sky. But it was what's the Will Smith movie? The joint where he by himself basically in the sky.
I'm Legend.
Yeah. Then they had that one meme with Godzilla in the background.
Yeah, like New York was horrible. Like, we were bad in Philly, but in New York, I felt bad for them because you were seeing the videos of it on the gram, on Instagram, and it was like, yo, they said breathing in that air for a couple hours is the equivalent of smoking 6 packs of cigarettes.
Oh, come on.
That's what they were saying in New York. That the breathing that air for 4+ hours is like smoking 6 packs of cigarettes. So the person that never smoked before, they probably got some damage done to their lungs if they were outside for a long period of time doing anything.
Cough up a lungs, huh?
I would like to know if people in New York, carriers in New York actually went to work. Down here, it wasn't as bad, but
still part of safety agile. Like I said,
it was.
Anything procedure that's dealt with the job basically tell you, what's the thing? Oh, if you're feeling certain things, take excessive breaks, or if you feel like this is for your health, like we have that when you use light blue for certain things. If it's health benefit, let's say, even if you with you have air conditioning, Blake has conditioning, we might have it all, but we're all individuals have our own conditioning. We have to take care of ourselves, but it's on light blue. So why is nobody enhancing that or saying that basically to understand it, or people just don't care blatantly?
They really said that? It's equivalent to how many? A pack of cigarettes?
Yeah, about 6 packs of cigarettes. That's what they said. That's how bad the air was in New York City.
Is that Newport or Salem?
I imagine it's Newport. 100s.
Syrup box.
No, that's really messing with me because, Wednesday we were out there. Now, it probably wasn't as strong here as it was in New York, but still, what is New York? 2 packs and Philly was 1 pack? Like what? Well, I'll say this much. I didn't get bothered by it really totally how they were handling it until I saw that the Phillies and Dodgers game got canceled. Yep.
Because they didn't want the Phillies players and the Dodgers players, they were playing in Philly, to be out because of the air, how the air was. Right. So, imagine me being a letter carrier and I'm outside for 8.5 hours, so to speak. And I know my colleagues are outside anywhere from 10, because I knew guys at other stations that had like 3.5 hours of overtime.
Wow.
So like their comeback time was 8:30, like on this day, when it was carbon dioxide in the air, which is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, you mean to tell me that a baseball player can't go out and play baseball for a couple hours, but I can still go do my job?
Go do 12 hours.
You know what I mean? Like, so that would kind of bother me, because I'm like, now it gets to the point where you're asking yourself, because there's only so many times you can keep playing in somebody's face as an American citizen, and we're saying that we care about our people. We care about our people. Do we really? You know what I mean? Or is it based on how much they think you're worth? Mm-hmm. Because a Phillies player is making way more money than what I make doing my job. They're paying him way more money than what I get paid to do my job. So I guess he's a higher asset in terms of business opposed to what I do, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Because that's entertainment. This is an essential job, was what they call it.
I wonder when we not to cut you off, I wonder when we get back pay for that, probably for that, just for working. Even though it's only a few days, I wonder they're gonna try to say, "Oh, you guys work through that too." Like, they gonna try.
I doubt it, because we're in the eyes of business, we're liabilities, because we take money out of their pockets because they pay us, and sports players are an asset because they make more money off them than they're paying them.
Right.
True.
So, in my experience with it, I don't have asthma, but my condition is still an autoimmune condition, so it can, mess with me. But like my friends here, I also wore a mask, but it was, even though I wore a mask, it was still messing with me. And then now that I hear today that I didn't know that I was actually smoking cigarettes. And I didn't know that I was smoking cigarettes. So, and for us not to have a day off, so like there were schools closed, there were schools closing, having half a days. There were, people that didn't have to go to work. And I'm like, well, why are we still here? Like, does our health not matter? Because in our job, they always say safety first. They always say that. Mm-hmm. Is it something that they believe, or is it something that just say?
Well, I think the way they handled it, personally, based on like a lot of Facebook forums I've seen that you have Postal people in them, like I think it fell on the responsibility of that postmaster of that station or manager to decide how they want to go about it. I don't think there was like a call from DC that said, hey, look, they need to be off the street this time, they need to do this, they need to do that. I don't think anybody made that call. I think they pretty much gave you the power yourself, the person that runs your station, to act accordingly. Because I did see that somebody in one of the U.S. Postal forums and Facebook said that their postmaster told them, hey, look, you don't have to stay here if you don't want. You can go home. It's fine. Like nothing, you know what I mean? I won't hold it against you. But it's your choice if you want to work. But this carrier was also in Vermont, which is one of these New England states where it was a higher risk because of how much smoke it was there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought that was very honorable of that postmaster to actually, put that on the table, because the mail was the mail. You know what I'm saying? Like when it gets backed up 2 days, it looks crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, like you said, black safety first. So that guy pretty much put it on the table for his workers. Like, hey, look, this is the situation. However you want to handle it, it's fine.
But let me ask y'all all three of y'all questions. It's like, what do they really value? Like, I mean, they really value a piece of paper over your worker's life. Like for situation, like when's the next? Like, it's never going to stop, because there's going to be some more scenarios of, I guess, life threatening or more of like natural disasters happening. Basically, like when is it going to come to a point where we like, look, enough's enough? Like I said, we all have a control, but it's like someone has to step up, and I feel like people feel like they're scared to say what's right or do what it is. I'm like, you have to, because so what if somebody has an asthma attack basically out there and saying, well, I'm following orders. What are you going to say then?
You don't have on the right shoes.
Oh, God. Green tag?
Well, it's like, as carriers, it's our responsibility to prioritize our health, regardless of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
because it's a business at the end of the day, so they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah, but the thing is also, my thing is too, if I give you a quote unquote direct order, it's like, all right, now, like, say if I'm at a person that's kind of conversational, basically, I'm like, all right, I'm following direct order. I can blame you for saying I followed direct order. Like, that's your fault, basically. Like, you told me to do something, I fell in line. I didn't go against the grain at all. Something got to give. Something has to give. Like, someone has to have some common sense, basically. That's what it all comes down to, common sense right now, I feel like. And I feel like a lot of these people don't. They overlook it. Because, like you said, it's a business name. Like, well, I ain't trying to lose my job.
Well, I also think, like, you know, like Aaron said, yeah, it is a business and that's how they run it. But I feel a certain kind of way because we didn't even get the option. Like Rick said, you know, there are carriers and, you know, other places that got the option. I'm like, why wouldn't we at least given the option to, you know, or, you know, let us know that it's bad out there if you have asthma or you have a hard time breathing or if your eyes are burning or anything like that, you know, you can come back to the station, you know, you can go home, you know, anything. So
yeah, I would like to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think it falls on like I said, like one of the problems we have is that there's not a lot of people that are in leadership positions that actually have leadership skills. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Part of being a leader is like making a decision, not waiting for somebody to tell you to make a decision or waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. Is you knowing, using your common sense, all right, this is what the situation is, this is what the possibilities are, this is what the results could be, this is what the outcome could be, so let me figure something out.
Yeah,
and then at the end of the day, once you figure it out and you know decide to do whatever you want to do, you explain it to the people that are above you.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not confrontational enough or confident enough to talk to the people above them. They just don't want to get, I guess, like scolded or nagged at. Even if they know the person above them is probably wrong with what they're saying to them, they just don't have the confidence or the backbone to really handle that situation, which is not a leader, which is not someone who should be in a leadership position. But what do you do when your job is desperate? You know what I mean? When there's people retiring from an old generation, and there's nobody taking their spots. Now you're just taking whoever you can get that's willing to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is how a company starts to go on a downslide, just because ethics and things go out the window. Because with each generation, everyone's different. The way they handle things differently, the way they talk, the way they communicate with each other is all different. You know what I mean? So if you don't make the adjustments and still find those good quality people to do these positions, it's going to reflect on the company.
Right.
Yeah, you're right, but I feel a certain kind of way about it. I can't.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Because I was out there, I felt the difference even though I had a mask on, and this is the season where the season changes. This is allergy season, so it's even worse with people with allergies, asthma, and stuff like that. And just going, with the pollen and everything that's out there, and then now you have this on top of that.
Then it's about to get super hot too.
Yeah. So do nobody take this into account? Do nobody understand, or they just don't look at it? They, like Brandon said, they just take they take it for granted, and they just like, well, this is a job. Everybody got to do their job. You got to come to work. And to be honest, I'm not surprised. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I'm not surprised because they had carriers working out here in COVID. They had carriers working out here when it was anthrax. Mm-hmm. And those were much, much worse. And they had them out here. So to have us out here, have us working, breathing this stuff in, mask or not, it's a problem.
Right.
I mean, so if you guys, are listening to this episode and you work in the Northeast, by all means, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. You know what I mean? If you like this episode, hit the like button. And by all means, especially if you were in the Northeast, comment. Let us know what the situation was at your station. Like, were you guys given an option to go home, to work? You know what I mean? Like, what was, the severity of how it was for you if you were in the Northeast when this was going on? Because we really want to know, because I've seen in different forums where people were saying, they didn't get a stand-up talk, they didn't get any mask, nothing. It was just like a regular day for them. And this is somebody, I think that person was in New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Which is one of the New England areas, which is, it was almost close to purple in terms of the, how the seriousness of it. So yeah, like if you know, please comment. Let us know how you feel about what happened in the situation. You know, and then if you're, you know, especially if you're carrying Buffalo, like what was like for y'all? Because y'all like right there, you're like right near the borderline. Like how was that? Any Buffalo carriers out there, please by all means comment and let us know what that experience was like, because we really want to know.
Yeah, it's close, very close to Canada. Yeah.
It's amazing in the post office that we all can share the same experience all at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's the purpose of this podcast, so we can all share
Yep.
our different experiences and stuff like that. But on the topic of health and safety, you know, it was brought up in the stand-up talk by a carrier that, you know, the heat is coming, basically. Summer is coming. And in light blue, there's certain modules for you to take courses on health and safety. You want to talk about that? What?
Well, yeah. I also heard the same thing, and I also, you know, with technology and things like that, I like to look up and see if it's, you know, if it's true or, you know, if people just, you know, telling you stuff. But it is on light blue under the hero login and assigned training. It literally tells you that there are training, you know, safety courses that, you know, can and should take about, you know, different climates and weather, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, the things you should do and stuff like that. And, you know, check it out, you know, see what's on there. And, you know, I don't really know too much about the classes because I haven't actually taken them. So I just actually recently heard about it and recently looked it up myself. And, you know, look it up, tell us what y'all think, you know, see what's on there and comment and let us know in the comment section and, you know.
Yeah, the most important thing is to be safe out there. You don't want to have a heat stroke, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, they have the thing. They have a dialogue up there. It says if you're feeling overheated, take extra breaks, drink water, put a cold rag on the back of your neck.
Yeah, frozen
towel on the back of your neck. Basically, like I say, if you're in the LLV, what it says, roll the window down or something. What it say? LLV? No, I'm just saying they say roll the window down the LLV. Like
that's nice.
No, I'm saying I think isn't that what the CJ said with the LLV? Like you gotta roll the window down, like had a fan on, even though the fan's blowing hot air at you, but it's okay.
It's like 20 degrees hotter inside the LLV.
Oh my god, yo man, dude,
It was definitely like an oven.
Dude, I had one time I was in the LLV, the fan didn't work. I'm out there sweating, like just ridiculous. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, man, I gotta get ProMaster. I'm like, nah, that's too good. But it was just crazy. I'm like, you really gotta breathe in it, and even when the fan works, you're breathing in more hot air from the fan because it's nothing but hot air. That's literally what the fan is doing, is blowing hot air back at you. But it's just, oh man.
I remember an experience. I think we was at Overbrook Station, and it was like 95 degrees, but it said it was gonna feel like 101. And it was hard to see in front of me, and I had a headache the whole day. It was so hot. I was taking so many breaks. I couldn't wait for the temperature to drop. I couldn't wait for 5, 6 o'clock. I couldn't. Oh God, it was so bad. I was drinking water, and the only thing that really saved me that day is I was on route Rick used to be on. I was on 30 route. I was over there, and I went to 7-Eleven, and just so happened that the guy was there delivering ice. And, you know, they had too many bags of ice. He was like, hey, man, you want a bag of ice? You know, we got too many. I said, yeah, I want a bag of ice. So I had, luckily I had a bag of ice all day. I was walking around with, little rubber gloves. I had ice in the glove.
Oh, nice.
And I would, put a towel around it and literally tie it around my neck.
Okay.
And, that helped, but it was still so hot. Oh, man.
Drink your Pedialyte.
Yeah, Pedialyte, Gator, anything with electrolytes.
You gotta stay hydrated. Yeah. That's like a main thing.
I was sweating so bad. I wear pants all year round because I don't like wearing shorts at work in the summertime because mosquitoes love my legs. I don't know why. I don't know why. But, just wearing pants in the summertime and you're sweating and you go to lift your leg up to walk up the steps and the pants are stuck to your leg. Ugh.
Oh, that's the worst.
It really gets out there. So look at the training courses, see what it says, go deep into it, look at every single thing about it, and, you might learn something.
What's it called again?
It's under the Hero login, and it says assigned training.
Okay.
And
Are we getting paid to do that, or is that like?
from what I was told, yes, and I also was told no. I wasn't, I'm not entirely sure. The general information that I got was where it was, what it is, and how to find it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And there you have it. On our podcast, give you guys information. Like I said, if you guys like this episode, by all means, hit the like button, comment below, let us know what you think. And if you haven't done so already, because a lot of you have, subscribe. Please subscribe.
Thank you.
Please
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, for me, like safety thing, like I thrive in the summer. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy the heat. You know what I mean? Only because like there's other people out there like that's like working and like I notice the heat really bothers them, and then like.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. Can you say your quote you always tell us about the heat?
What quote is that?
Oh, you? That's why I hear.
Now I'm drawing a blank because you put me on the spot. Yeah.
You don't know the quote you say? Act like we would.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So all right. So like I just said a second ago, I thrive in the heat.
Oh God.
And the reason why I thrive in heat is because I like to remember that I come from that type of climate originally. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I was born here in America, of course. Yeah, but I'm Sudanese descent. You know what I mean? And Sudan is very hot.
Nigeria.
No, it's not Nigeria. But shout out to Nigerians out there. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to y'all.
So you're extra black.
Yo.
I guess you could say that, yeah. But as a black person, period, regardless, you know what I mean? If you come from the, genetically, if you come from the continent of Africa, it's hot like that all the time. 95, 105, 103, 100. So I remember that and understand that, this is not going to hurt me. It can't really hurt me, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it actually helps me deal with it. And it's always funny because, delivering mail in Roxborough, like, you know what I mean? That's a different kind of demographic. And like people are like always like, oh my God, it's so hot out here. Are you okay? I'm fine. Are you okay? And I always ask them, hey, you cool? You might want to put some, some sunblock or something on. Getting a little crazy out here. You know what I mean? But that's how, I'm always, for me, the winter is where it gets on my nerves.
I can't stand the winter.
Yeah, the winter is the worst for me. Like, I layer up like crazy. Like, I'm the guy that has all the winter gear. Like, no lie. The spike boots, like the spike slip-ons. You know what I mean? Like their actual Postal winter coat, like with the lining in the inside. You know what I mean? Because that's not my temperature. That's not my area. So I make sure I layer up so I can get the job done.
Right.
I don't know. I'm kind of in between because the winter is like my hands be freezing, but I can deal with the winter, can work through it. The summertime is like I sweat crazy. You gotta have a towel with you. You gotta keep wiping your face. It's like when the sun go down, it's like all right. You be looking, you be like 4, 5. Shit ain't going down yet. Like it just,
I'd rather be out there at 90 degrees than it be 2 degrees and snow.
You lost your mind.
I can't.
I mean, but no. The thing is about snow though. The thing is not bad as rain. Like snow, you can still keep treading. As long as the fact that the block's not blocked off, or whatever, you're not in the elevator. You have your routes kind of walking where it is you go out. I'm fine with that. I can't. I just the heat. Sometimes you be out there like shh. You get off the heat. You go home. I go right to sleep. I'm tired.
You gotta chill. You're an African, brother.
I do that, sir. I mean,
he Bahamian, so
yeah, I am from the Bahamas. Sir.
Ain't it hot as hell over there too? Like, come on.
It's a different kind of heat.
It's not actually a different kind of Africa. We're the water, sir. That's why.
All right, well, just imagine you next to the Schuylkill. You'd be all right.
Yo, Schuylkill to the Bahamas, and we're not gonna talk about that.
Nah, I don't like the summertime. And I'm a dark skinned brother. Rick's darker than me though. But I don't.
As he lies to y'all, but it's fine.
I don't like the summer. Like it's too hot. I'm always cooking. I turn purple. No.
You turn purple? I'm supposed to say turn purple.
I don't.
So
like
what you're saying is you're getting stronger.
Naturally, yes, but I don't like. I like the wintertime, and the reason why I like the wintertime, they say their hands get cold. Mine's don't. I got heated gloves, so mine's don't get cold. And I got heated socks, so my feet are fine. So I don't.
There are things out there like that, folks. Heated gloves and heated socks. Please do your research. There are things made for people like us to do the job that we do.
Not just some stick in the hand warmers.
Yeah, and then I got that stuff from one of my closest friends, he's like a brother to me, my boy Rob. He works at a store called the Warman Store.
Yeah, he hooked me up a couple times too.
Yeah, he makes sure, you can get heated vests, jackets, stuff, hats, gloves, socks, stuff. Look, trust me, it works. It worked for me. I'm chilling in the wintertime. In the summertime, I wish they had cold gloves. I wish they had cold socks. Cause I would love it. Cold jacket, what?
What's the old saying? It's easier to warm up than it's hard to cool down. Basically, it's terrible. Like it takes you forever to kind of come down from 90 degrees. But you outside the -2, you put that heat on. Oh, I feel good. With some clothes on, body feel good. You AC came like, all right. The strong kicking in, you feeling like turn the AC up there, turn it to 60, turn it to 55. So,
funny part about it is you can't come out from cold weather if you are cold and jump in a hot shower. You can't do that.
Hell no,
But you can come out from hot and jump in a cold shower.
Oh, that cold shower don't be right on summer nights.
Oh, and here's a little health safety fact too. You might only get on the Route podcast.
Oh God.
Cold showers actually tightens your skin.
Yes.
It actually tightens your skin, folks. So if you're somebody that's over 35 and you're worried about, looking like you're over 35, take a cold shower once in a while. You know what I mean? Make sure you get that water on your face, on your chest, your abs. You know what I mean? The places you're worried about, it tightens the skin. It actually does.
Is that the old Pharrell trick?
I don't know if Pharrell was doing that. But
I'm just saying that's the whole. That's the Forever Youth trick.
Yeah.
Forever Young.
Yeah.
And to add to that, it also helps with joint pain, other aches and pains, and muscle soreness. Most people think of muscle soreness and aches and pain. They're like, oh, I got to get in hot water and Epsom salt. Yes, obviously that helps, but cold water helps too. Trust me.
It's like putting cold compress on you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, so what's some of y'all go-tos to fight like the heat while delivering?
Well, mine's try to stay alive, but
staying alive.
But if it's hot outside, my first thing I do is I make sure I got a towel, make sure I got something frozen, whether it's a bottle of water, whether it's a gallon of water, like whether it's a bag of ice. Rather, because you can get the frozen towels you can put in the freezer, even though that probably only gonna last you like a block or two. Right. But it helps, and you have your cooler. If you have your cooler, you good. You can have your towels in there, a bunch of ice in there, a bunch of water, Gatorade, Pedialyte, electrolyte water, whatever you drink, and it will help you throughout the day. Because once you get something cold, whoa, boy, when it's like 95 degrees outside. It's the best thing. You be happy. You like whoever created water. I am grateful. I know I say it every time I drink it in hot weather. Yeah. But yeah, that's my go-to. Make sure I have plenty of towels, plenty of ice, plenty of water, electrolyte water, and try to stay as cool as possible. Get done as fast as possible. It gets hotter as the day goes on.
Yeah, I got like one of those towels that stays cold for a while. It's like designed for you to put on your neck, so I make sure I always try to freeze that over, keep it cold, put it right on my neck, and just leave it there. And then like I got a pretty decent route with decent people on it, so people always offer me water, like ice cold water. So I can always depend on the people that I'm servicing that actually look out for me. You know what I mean? So they keep me going.
And I know you like Toomey. I do too. They take all the money.
Yeah.
But they have a thing on there. I haven't gotten it yet, but I did order it. It's like a hood, and it goes over your shoulders, and you can wet it, and you can freeze it or whatever, and it also has the UV protection from the sun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I bought one. It's a hood that goes over your head. It like drapes over your shoulders, and you can wring it out, you can wet it, freeze it.
And where did you get this from again?
Toomey.
Who?
Timu. I said Toomey. Timu.
Timu. Okay.
Timu. I'm sorry. I done messed the whole thing
That would
up.
be Amazon's competitor.
Yeah, he talking about Toomey, the
I
TV
said
show.
If you're a carrier and you're a clerk, you've seen the packages, the big orange packages with the white words on there.
TEMU.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's on the route podcast, Timu. You know what I mean? Holla at us.
For sure.
Yeah. Once I get it in, I'll be able to tell y'all how it feels out there. It should be here soon.
Spread the word.
I ordered it about 2 weeks ago, so it'll probably be here soon.
Okay.
So I guess with me, so I get it at home. My wife, so we kind of both do we'll have like 3 bottles of water and would have like half Gatorade. And when we first started the job, basically, she was like, "You ain't got no Safari hat?" I said, "What you talking about? You ain't got no Safari hat?" I said, "What you keep talking about? Safari hat?" She talking about she called me. I'm like, "What the hell she talking about Safari?" I'm like, "The hats that they go over here." I'm like, "Oh, you talking about the old school bucket hats?" Like, she's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, so I make sure what I used to do is before I used to wet the towel. Like my pops told me this too. Like he represented, like he got a bald head. He was like, what I used to do is wet the. All right. I ain't about to say. I already know what you about to say. I already know what you about to say. He used to wet the towel and like he was like, yo, put the towel on your back and neck, put on your head. So what I used to do is sometimes I used to get a rag, I wet it and put it on top of my head, and I put the hat on top of it, so it'll keep like my head and my neck and be cool. So. You wrong for that, but
You beat me to it.
I already know what you about to say, but yeah, I used to do that, and I just try, like I said, see the thing with y'all two got is easier. Me and Aaron got it hard because of utilities, so it's like you got to figure out what route we on that day, who gonna give us the hell of the water, who not gonna give it to us, what shade it is. Am I doing this right there? All right, I need to prepare it. So it's like an everyday task of figure out what route it is. Is she gonna look? Somebody gonna give you. See, the thing is, some people. Actually, what they say is they give you room temperature water that kind of help out too. That's kind of actually one of the better things. Like when I get that, I get real cold water that don't mess me up. If I get something like maybe, if it's 90 degrees, I guess the temperature maybe 70, 65, it'd be cool. I can float with it because I'm keeping it going. But that real cold, that's gonna burst to your body. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I want the coldest possible.
Huh?
Yeah.
I like room temperature because it'd be easier. Like I don't know what it do for you. Like I said, I guess it's good for your body. Room temperature water. It's not too cold and shit, and you don't get no brain freeze either. So that's the thing I hate too. That's the most thing, the uncurable thing ever. Brain freeze.
Yeah.
Oh, brain freeze? What in the summertime? You get brain freeze in the summer?
Yo, I can get stuff. I get it. My man over here do too.
So for me, I what I usually do is I eat in the morning. I'll eat a meal, and that'd be my only meal throughout the day. And then I'll have like a frozen gallon of water, and I'll keep that. And I'll drink that throughout the day because you don't want to eat nothing heavy. You don't want to eat like sugary stuff or have a bunch of sugary drinks because it's going to drain you. So that's what I usually do.
Well, isn't that the rule of thumb? No caffeine, sugar when it's super hot outside because it dehydrates you. Yeah, it dehydrates you.
Yeah.
Like that's why they tell you don't drink soda in the summertime.
I be guzzling Coca-Cola Zero all day long.
No, I remember if I was talking to you, I was like, man, I can't stay away from IC. I said, that's the deadly sin right there.
Wawa smoothies.
Look, just
look.
water.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Black. Since he brought up, you want to explain how I got on the Wawa smoothie, sir? You want to explain that?
Whatever do you mean, sir?
You want to explain how I got addicted to Wawa smoothies last year?
So you got addicted to Wawa smoothies, and you're asking me? I don't work for Wawa. I don't. Wawa.
Aaron, I'm gonna pray on blast.
I'm not affiliated with Wawa in no type of way.
So my brother over here across from me, so he said, "Yeah, brother, why you taking all this intake? You can get a Wawa smoothie." I said, "What you talking about?" He said, "You don't mess with Wawa smoothies?" I said, "Nah, I don't mess with Wawa smoothie." He's like, "Yeah, man, I get that joint every morning. Get that joint in the afternoon. That joint with cherry, right?" I said, "All right, cool. Let's see what you talking about." So I get the smoothie. I get the mango one. I get the small. I'm like, all right, man, this joint cool. It do good. So my greedy ass, I said, I'm about to up it up. I'm about to get a 16 ounce. I'm like, get that joint. So
you mean the 24?
I gotta whatever, sir. It's whatever. Okay, all right. So I get into it every day. He called me. They said, "Yo, you at Wawa?" I said, "Yeah, man. These joints is addictive." He said, "How many you had?" I said, "I had 3." He said, "What?" He said, "I had 3." He said, "How many you got?" I said, "I had 3 today." He said, "Man, brother."
Yo, for people that are not from the Northeast, because that's mostly what Wawa is. Wawa is like a high end 7-Eleven kind of, and the drinks that they make are really good. Like whether it be mango, French vanilla, chai, all different flavors, right? Yeah. The only thing about it is that it's high in calories, especially the 24-ounce one. It's about 900 calories, the 24-ounce one. So when he told me he had 3, that was over 2,700 calories he had. Which, unless you're trying to get bigger and get bulkier, you don't want to just overdo it.
I didn't know, man. It was addictive. It was
so
good.
That's why I responded the way I responded, because I was like, yo, he's tripping. Like, he about to be out here be fat as a mother.
Hold on. So he got you addicted to these shakes. Does he still drink them?
No, he don't drink anymore. No,
No, I drink them occasionally.
occasionally.
Once a
You see
month.
how he got me? You see how he got me?
Once a month, I have them.
Once a month.
But I split them with my 2 kids too, so that 900 calories goes 3 different ways.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the other thing. So you like commercial now? You don't tell me the full story. You say it too fast. This boy. Hey, I tell you, he a hell of a market, ain't he? He gets you hooked on fast. He's about, well, it's your fault.
Oh man. But yeah, Wawa's a good. If you ever on the Northeast, you know what I mean. You're not from this area, go hit up a Wawa, man. Some good stuff in there, man.
Any more on the health and safety tip, guys?
Oh man, I don't need any health safety. I ain't trying to get be like big as Paul Blart. I'm alright.
Well, one thing I do want to know, this happens a lot to me during the summertime. I probably sweat out about 3 shirts, and I would like to know anybody out there, you fellas too. How many shirts do y'all sweat out in the summertime daily?
Oh,
I don't sweat them. I got dry fit shirts. So my dry fit shirt's good for me. I just get the right ones. The worst, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened to me. I ain't tell y'all this right. So you got all right. Well, I had a bad. The worst shirt is it's Under Armour basically. I sweat it out. That's the worst ever dry fit shirt. Doesn't wear it though.
yeah, I probably sweat out like 1 or 2. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm just an excessive sweater. That's what you're saying.
I am too, but I don't do this. So.
Yeah, I go through probably like 1 shirt, but I usually wear 2. I wear like the actual Postal shirt over top of like a white tee or a black tee or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of how I move because I don't feel like I hate having that shirt, the Postal shirt, stick to my body. It's not a good feeling. You know what I mean?
Some of our coworkers did, but we don't talk about that.
But yeah, on the Route Podcast, like I said, we always giving you guys good topics, good things that we feel like our fellow carriers, clerks, and mail handlers and people in the post office should want to know about, especially if you do an outside job. You know what I mean? But please, because we're going into the end of the spring and beginning of summer soon. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you wear the right clothing. Don't push yourself past your own limit. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your safety. That's exactly how a company would tell any other person that works for them. They have their rules and everything set in place where they're supposed to tell you certain things. But if you don't listen and something happens to you, they're going to look at you like, well, you did that to yourself. They're not going to try to hear about a lawsuit or anything like that from you. So take care of yourself first thing. Because the people, especially if you're a carrier, the people that you deliver to like seeing you every day. And they want to keep seeing you. So keep that in mind as you're doing your job. You know what I mean? Because you might not know it, but some people in your route actually probably care about you more than you probably think they do. You know what I mean? And you can tell by how, they treat you when they see you out there. You know what I mean? So I'm going to let my brothers say their last words before we get up out of here.
So on the route, be more than just share information with my brothers, man. This is what we do. Like I said, we're keeping y'all good information, so let's do it.
Yeah, peace out, y'all. This is Aaron. Just make sure y'all stay on top of y'all health and safety courses and stuff like that.
And this is Black, just like they said, stay on top of those training courses. Like Rick said, stay hydrated and also make sure you eat. Because along with hydration, you're going to need food too, especially in the heat.
And this is your engineer, staying low-key but doing a horrible job of it, as always, Rick Shine. Letting you guys know we really appreciate you guys. Like I said, if you know anybody that hasn't heard about our podcast, tell them about us, man. Tell them to check us out. Hit the like button, comment below, let us know how they feel. You know what I mean? And if they feeling us, hopefully they'll hit the subscribe button. We keep this thing going, man. But like we always say, be safe out there and be safe on the route.
Yes, sir.